Hello, good yo-yo people. I'm Nate. I'm a sponsored player by GSquared YoYos and Spool Thread Co yo-yo string. This is another episode of Nate Reviews Yo-Yos. And today I have a comparison review of the two versions of the Elite that are currently out. Stainless steel as well as the brass version of this yo-yo. So this is my review and comparison of the Elites. Alright, this is the in the hand section. I've already had a review of the regular Elite here, so I'll have a link in the description box and probably at the end as well as a recommended video. So if you haven't watched that, you can check out my full review on that. So this review is going to be a little bit quicker because I'm primarily going to be looking at the brass. I got this a couple weeks ago and really been loving that. There's been a lot of runs of this so far, so only a few are actually out there. So not a lot of people are talking about it, but I can tell you, those who have one, it's amazing. Would agree that it's amazing for sure. I did bring out a digital scale. I thought this might come as something handy here. So let me go ahead and weigh. Now I do have a string on here, but they're the same length string and everything, so it's really not going to change too much here. This is on grams here. This is a scale I use for coffee and that sort of thing. Alright, so we're looking at about 62 grams. This is the standard stainless steel rings on there. And then with the brass, we're looking at 62.5. So the difference really here is just 0.5 grams, a half a gram. And so not much of a difference. So what does that actually change in the play and feel of the yo-yo itself? Now, GSquared YoYos, they've been doing a lot of their yo-yos in comparison. They'll do a 60-61 aluminum and then a 70-75 aluminum as well, and change the whole weight of the yo-yo itself. Now the biggest difference here with a bimetal changing the weight of the ring itself is that the weight distribution is quite different, and taking advantage of putting as much weight as you can to the rims. It's going to make a little bit more of a difference with putting that 0.5 gram to the rim instead of maybe just changing the metal in general. So maybe instead of taking the stainless steel version and making that 70-75 on the body, well, that's going to increase the weight probably by about a gram or so, but it's not going to push it more to the rims unless you change the design of it. Now this actually pushes it to the rim. So let's see how it actually throws on the string to see if there's really any difference at all. So welcome back to the on the string section with the Elites here. So I'm comparing the stainless steel with the brass. And so the biggest difference here is going to be, of course, is it adding more stability to the yo-yo itself. Now, the Elite as it is a high-end, performance-based power machine. I mean, one of the nice things about the Elite is compared to most bimetals that I've talked about in the original review is how light the body is, but how it takes advantage of that full bimetal sort of experience that you would have. So you're going to get a really nice, light, nimble yo-yo, but a powerhouse in spin time, stability, and all those sort of things. So I'm going to go ahead and set this one aside and grab the brass one here. Whew! That's going to be cold. Still smooth. Let me clean this off a little bit more here. It still has that nimble sort of feel that the stainless steel version has, but the biggest difference is that it does have a little bit more of a solid feel on the string. I know it's only half a gram, but it does feel a little different, especially when you compare them back to back. I wouldn't necessarily say the brass is better or is an upgrade. I think it just feels a little different. And I think that's okay. It's not that I don't think Jake was trying to improve necessarily the Elite, but I think just offer something a little bit different. I could be wrong. You could ask him. Now, I don't really see the brass version here really being such a difference that it's going to increase too much on spin times. You might get a few more seconds and a little bit more stability, but really the feel on the string is a little bit different and a little bit more solid playing. You feel like it's a little bit, it still has that light, nimble feel to it, but it just feels a little bit more solid playing on the string. Does that make sense? You don't have to answer. All right, let's go ahead and actually throw a trick here. You know, I'll be honest, I said with the Standard Elite that I would say that it's the best, and there's been a number of bimetals that have come out on the market since then, and I know that you might say I'm partial because I am sponsored by GSquared YoYos, and yeah, I am a little partial at times, but I also know what is a good yo-yo, and I think one of the best things about the Elite is it takes advantage of what you can only do with a bimetal. I talked about that quite a bit in my original review of creating a light base that you really couldn't do too much with a full metal yo-yo, an all-metal yo-yo, where you're really going to lose spin times and stability and that sort of thing. Really like this yo-yo. The brass version I really think is a nice just comparison. It also aesthetically adds a little bit more to it with that brass look, but also I do think it offers enough of a difference on the feel on the string that it's worth picking up for certain, and a great addition to high-end metal yo-yos in your case, and certainly a bimetal that's going to stand out amongst all the rest that are out there right now. So that's my review in comparison of the Elites. Let's get this one out of the snow here. All right, that is my review in comparison of the GSquared YoYos Elites, the stainless steel version, as well as the brass. All right, everyone. Good day and good yo-yo.